Welcome back to another episode of the Roblox Studio tutorials. In this video, I'll show you how to make a basic match system, whereas when you press this ready button and all the players are ready and I wait for the match to load in, we have 5 seconds on the clock, and once that 5 seconds expires, the game is over. And once I hit the continue button, and I'm back to the ready up screen. First off, we're going to start with the character pads inspired heavily by Fortnite. You know what it is. And if you want to use the model that I'm using in this video, the link will be in the description below, so you don't really have to make anything new. You can just drag and drop what I have made and kind of just go from there. I know many of you will probably do. After we have these character pads in, let's go ahead and get all of the GUIs made also. Just like with the character pads, I'm just going to drag and drop all of the GUIs that I have made, which is including the ready GUI, which I just showed, the match GUI, that little text in the corner, and the loading GUI, which is kind of nothing right now, and the game over GUI, which is a little more customized, a little more stuff going on. Let's go ahead and actually assign some functionality to these character pads over here. We go into Start a Player. Once we're in Start a Player, we head down to Start a Player scripts, go over here, local script, and let's rename this to assign players to pads. I just copied and pasted that because that was a lot of words. And in the script, we're going to give it to this hello world, replace it with new stuff. Okay, so I just copied in all of the code that I had from the original script. First, what we have here is we have the return functions, which just returns like the pad that we want to reference. Here, if we go to workspace, tools, pads, here's our close pad, far pad, left pad, right pad. And we have the update pad visuals. Now, if we head down to these assign and unassigned player pad functions, pretty much self-explanatory. We are assigning pads to players that have not already been loaded in, and we are updating the visuals for that pad and spawning the player in that pad. And this is just setting the values so that we know which players have been given a pad and which players have not been given a pad. Down below, in this unassigned player pad, we are taking the player that has just been removed from the game, which is here, bringing that player in, and we're checking all the pads to see which pad that player is in, that player's character on that pad, and reset that pad. If we head out of that, like I just did, okay, within replicated storage, we're going to have 3 folders. We're going to have the game data folder. We're going to start off with this. This game data folder will house the match active value, the player's ready value, which is a number value, the queue ready, which is a Boolean value, just like the match active, and the seconds value, another number value. Down below that, in the modules folder, we're going to have 2 modules. We're going to have the return timecode, which if we jump right into it, formats a number of seconds into a timecode string like 230. Now, if we head out of the script and we go into the match config script, we have a whole bunch of values that we can configure how some of the stuff operates within this system. Down below that modules folder, we have the remotes folder, which is we're going to have 3 simple remotes. We're going to have the return game data value, return player value, and the toggle ready. Now, within all of these remotes value, we're going to have a server script. Plop this in the game real quick. And by plop it to the game, I mean going into the server script service, going into and make a new script, rename this remotes handler, and let's give it to this hello world and put our own code in. Now, we have all the code in. Within this script, we're going to list out all the variables, and we're going to make a table or an array of all the remotes so they're easily searchable, easily findable, so I don't have to make a whole bunch of variables like I did here. So we're going to have 3 connects because we have 3 remotes. This returns the player stats. This returns one of the game stats, the game data value stats, and this just toggles the ready value of the player. And that ready value, we can actually go ahead and plop that into game 2, make a script, call this players, give it a hello world like usual. Within this script, it's probably one of my most simplest scripts all in this system. Get the player service, and then when the player is added, we take the script.data folder that is under the script and we clone that into the player data folder, which just houses the ready value. So we'll set out of the script. There's going to be another server-side script. We're going to call this match controller. Give it a hello world. I'm doing that a lot. Now this script is a lot like what we've been doing before. This wait until players are ready function cycles through all the players, gets their ready value, adds them to the count, and if that count is equal to the total number of players in the game, then we start that round. Do that right here. Now up above that, we have a little check here, which makes sure that 0 players aren't in the game, and if 0 players are in the game, end this function, and we go right back here, which just loops this function again, and it checks it all over again. So right below that, wait until players are ready. As you saw, once all the players are ready, the game actually starts. So we get rid of the queue ready, we turn that to false, and then we actually start the match. Here is where the loading screen will pop up. So this is where I say, here you can load the map or environment while it's loading in. And then once the match active is set to true, that's when it loads out. And we reset the player ready values so that it's ready next time. We head down here, which is the count that this is like a placeholder thing, just so I can test out this system. And then as we count down from that 5 seconds, once it reaches 0, we end the match and we wait 4 seconds. Now, if we head out of this match controller script, we're just missing one major client script that is going to go right beside this local script that we have here. So we're going to make a new script. We're going to call this GUI controller, which is going to control all of those tweens, animations, and all of the client-side functionality. And let's code this up real quick. Now, this script is probably one of my most longest ones, being 187 lines of code. Down here, we are just loading into the match, like a quite simple, easy to reuse function. And here we are loading into the ready screen, which is another easy to reuse function. Right here, we are playing the load animation. Up here, we have the update players ready label, and we have the update seconds label, which is that little time text label that was at like the top left of the corner. And here is the update camera C-frame. It tries to find the object. If it finds it, we set the C-frame of the camera to that object. And down below that, just in case a player joins the game afterwards or in the middle of a match, we have this. If the match is active right now, we load into the match, but if it's not active, then we just load back in to the default ready up screen. That's all the functionality for this. Now into the game, we're at this ready up screen and hit this ready up button. We ready up, we load into the match, the time counts down, and soon enough, we'll see the game over screen and the continue button pop up. In this video, I made an objective system that you can use in your game that features tweens, animations, optional tasks, and a whole bunch of other features. Click the link in the description.